class. I hope you all are safe here at your home, right? Today we will proceed our chapter. Chapter number 7 is the diversity of living organisms. So in the previous lecture, we had discussed the few kingdom Monera, Protista, fungi and Plantae. So in this chapter, our last kingdom is the kingdom Animalia, which have various classes according to their body design simply. So according to their body design, there are various kind of Animalia class are present. So we will discuss one by one, right? Firstly, we all know about that what are the characters of Animalia. Animalia or animals, you can say that, have are generally motile in nature, so it means they can easily move, right? If we compare it with the plants, plant cannot move but animals easily can move. Next is the kingdom Animalia, or the animals have kept do not have cell wall simply, because plant have cell wall. Their plasma membrane is covered or protected by cell wall simply. But in case of Animalia, cell wall is absent because they are motile in nature and they protect due to their motile nature in the drastic condition. Either it is very hot or it is very cold, they can easily move from these conditions simply, you can say that. But plant are non-motile in nature, so cell wall generally protect their internal tissue simply. Next is the plant are also eukaryote and multicellular. Animals are also multicellular and eukaryotic in nature. Eukaryotic, you know that, which have true nucleus. It means their nucleus is surrounded by nuclear membrane simply, right? Okay, we will simply discuss these classes today of Animalia. First is the Porifera, Coelenterata and Platyhelminths. One thing you need to do in during learn these kingdom and phylum and classes, you know that the peculiar activity or peculiar character, you can say that the special character, peculiar means the special character which is present only in that class or that order only. Simply you need to learn that point, right? A few points are always common in all the classes, like they are multicellular, they are eukaryotic. These are the common points you can write in all the classes simply because these all are in Animalia, and Animalia have common character. They are motile, they are eukaryotic, they are multicellular. So these 3 points are common in all these, right? But few, like you can say that few points are very important, which are present only in a particular class and particular order. You need to learn and keep it in mind, that point only, right? Firstly, we will discuss on the Porifera. As the name indicates, pori means pores. Porifera, the animal which consists pore in their entire body. Small holes are present in their body, so that kind of class is called Porifera simply. So all the sponges, generally sponges are present in that class. All the sponges have pores in their body, so that animals are called Porifera simply. So their body consists holes. One more exceptional thing, so important point of Porifera is they have pores in their body. So this is the important point. Next, they are non-motile. They are animal, no doubt. They are undergoing the kingdom Animalia, but they are non-motile. Why they are non-motile? Because they Porifera have lowest category of classification. Level of organization is very lowest. They have cellular level of organization. So because they have cellular level of organization, so they cannot maybe protect from the you can say that the complex body design animals. So they are non-motile in nature, they cannot move, and they are erect in nature and supported with substratum. They are attached with the substratum. Substratum is a surface through which any animal or a plant is attached simply. right? Substratum is a surface area, so they are always attached with the substratum, so they are non-motile in nature. And simply you can say that porifera have cellular level of organization. It means they have only cell. Through these cells they perform the all life processes, simply digestion, respiration, excretion, reproduction. All these the life processes are performed by a single cell only in case of porifera, because they have cellular level of organization. Cellular level of organization means their body is made up of cell only. So the body is made up of cells, so called cellular level of organization. Holes or pores are present, so that their this phylum is named as porifera, because holes are present in their body. They are non-motile, attached with the substratum. One more important point of this phylum is the canal system. You know the term about the canal. Canal, like this type of structure is called canal, through which water moves simply. So in their body also this kind of structure is present through which water is moved, because they have not special organ for digestion, respiration and excretion. So because they are aquatic in nature, simply they are present in the fresh water, so simply water move through this canal system into their body, and the dissolved oxygen and the food substrate particles present in the water consumed by the poriferas, and the unwanted or waste material dissolved in the water, and waste gases dissolved in the water, and the wasted water is goes out through the different pore of this animal. Simply one pore is present for the entering of water, and another is present for releasing the water. So through which this process or this canal system, these porifera perform all the life processes simply, and all the sponges are present in this phylum only, right? Okay, next is the Coelenterata. They are also aquatic in nature, but their body design or their level of organization is simply complex as compared to the porifera. So we will proceed our phylum from simplicity to the complexity. Simply simple to complex we will move. So Coelenterata are more complex as compared to porifera, because they have cellular level of organization, cell made tissue. It means they have tissue level of organization. You can say that simply they have tissue level of organization. Instead of this, they have two different layers which protect the internal tissue of the Coelenterata. One is present the outer side, which is directly connected with the external environment, and one is present into the inner side, which directly connected with the internal tissue simply. So two different layers are present in case of Coelenterata, and they have tissue level of organization. One more important thing about the Coelenterata is that they may be present in the colony. They have capability to survive in the colony. For example, coral reef. Coral reef are present in the colony always. Solitary means single. They have also capability. It means they can survive singly also. They do not need colonies. The example is the hydra. Hydra always survive in solitary conditions simply. So jellyfish, hydra, coral reef these are the example of Coelenterata. Simply when you compare the Coelenterata with porifera is that they have tissue level of organization, they have cellular level of organization. It consists two different layers, but it does not consist. They are motile, they are freely movable in the water, they can swim easily in the water, but they are non-motile in nature simply. Next is the platyhelminths. As the name indicates, the term helminths always meaning worms. Worms means helminth simply. Platy means flat, plate-like structure, so called flat. So commonly these worms called flat worms. Platyhelminths means flat worms. Why they called flat worms? Because their body does not have lateral wall. Lateral wall, this is your like front view, simply you can say that. So this is the dorsal surface. From this back side, this is the ventral surface, and this is the lateral surface. If this lateral surface is not present, then what will happen? The dorsal and ventral surfaces are attached with each other. like a plate like structure, a flat structure is present, so that they are called platyhelminths. Or their body structure is dorsoventrally, means dorsal surface and ventral surface attached with each other. There is no lateral surface. Lateral surface is not present in platyhelminth. So these worms are called, they have dorsoventrally in nature. They have dorsoventral structure simply. Right. One next important thing, they are bilateral in nature. Bilateral means they have two, like for example, this is the platyhelminths. When I divide it into a transverse section, it is divided into two equal halves, right? These are, when I cut it in the transverse section, then the animal is divided into two equal halves. This is called bilateral structure. If any structure is like this, of any animal is this kind of shape, when I cut it in the transfer as well as vertical as well as transverse section or horizontal section, it is divided into four equal parts. This kind of symmetry is called radial symmetry. Radial means four equal half. Bilateral means only two equal half. For example, our body, if I will cut my body like this in transverse section, then only two equal halves are formed, not four equal halves are possible in our body. So that kind of symmetry is called bilateral. So they have bilateral symmetry simply. Next is, they are triploblastic. What is the meaning of triploblastic? Every living organism have three kind of germ layer. First, outer layer is called ectoderm, inner layer is mesoderm, and innermost layer is endoderm. The animal who have all the three germ layer are present, the animal in which all these three layers are present is called triploblastic. Triplo means three, blastic means germ layer. These are the three germ layer. All the organ, tissue, organ system are made up of only these three germ layers in every living animal. In every living animal. In this Coelenterata, I told you that it consists two layers. It means it is not triploblastic. It means it does not consist three layers. It consists only two layers. It means it is a diploblastic. Diplo means two. Plastic means germ layer. So it consists only two germ layer. It consists all three. We have only maximum three germ layers are present. So it has all the three germ layers. So it is triploblastic. There is no true coelom is present. Now what is the meaning of coelom? The body cavity. The organ which is present in that area. The organ which is present in that area is called body cavity. So it has not true coelom. True coelom means the cavity is generally made up of mesoderm. It means its cavity does not made up of mesoderm, so it has not true coelom is present. The coelom which is made up, the body cavity which is made up of mesoderm is called true coelom, and which is does not made up of mesoderm is called a false coelom, or you can say that pseudo coelom. Pseudo means false. So they have a special kind of cell for excretion is called Flehm cell. So it is very important point for platyhelminths. This is also a very important point for platyhelminths. Okay, one more thing about the platyhelminths, they are parasite. It means their digestive system is not functional. The platyhelminths does not have different digestive enzymes. You can say simply that the digestive enzymes are not present. Digestive system is not complete in case of platyhelminths. So digestion processes does not proceed in case of platyhelminth. So they are parasite on the living organism. Other living, they get the nourishment from the other living organism. For example, liver flu. Why this is called liver flu? Because this platyhelminths is take nourishment from the human liver. It means it survive on the human liver, so its name is liver flu. From the liver it get nourishment, and further division like reproduction takes place. So that's why it is called liver flu simply, or its scientific name is fasciola. Fasciola. Or liver flu simply you can say that. So these are the three phylums only. In the next lecture we will proceed the next phylum. Firstly you will need to know about all these terms. Today we would use simply. So firstly clear these three phylum only. In the next lecture we will discuss on the next phylums one by one. So this is the simplest, medium and complex. Again from the platyhelminths, next from the platyhelminths is aschelminth, which is little bit complex from the platyhelminths, and so on in animal kingdom, like simply from the simple to the complex phylum are present. So we will discuss one by one all these phylums. Today we finished our lecture here only. In next lecture we will proceed our next phylum. Okay, thank you.